Welcome everyone to Winning in the Shadows. Andy and Jim here. We're breaking down the last fight of Dustin Poirier's career. UFC 318, Holloway and Poirier. Yeah, he's going to be one I'm going to miss.
I'm going to miss
Let,
it.
yeah. This is one where it's like, eh. And what is it with the hot sauce? we have another guy with hot sauce. How many hot sauces can there be out there with UFC spokespeople? So, whatever. All right, we're going to break down all these fights. Hopefully make you guys a little cash. We're starting to find our groove again in MMA. So we're going to have a PFL breakdown video on this channel as well. So if you're interested in that, happy Dakota Ditch of a week to those who celebrate. I know we do. So
Spoiler on their prediction.
yeah. Spoiler, we kind of like Dakota Ditcheva to win. So, all right, let's get into it. You guys, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Tell us who you like. Tell us who some of your best bets are. Jim, let's get into it. Carli, Judice, and Caliari. We like Carli Judice. Have since Contender Series. Her record is 4-2. We liked her in this fight against Ernesta. We were like, Ernesta's just too low volume, and then they go out and they both throw like more strikes than any woman on Contender Series. It was probably my favorite women's fight on all of Contender Series. She does take the close L, then loses another split decision, but then gets the job done with Dubin here. I like Carli Judice a lot. I hope they don't keep moving her up because experience is a really big issue here. But she has got the striking. She's got the volume. I think she has the cardio. If they bring her up slow, I'm not saying she's going to be champ. I'm just saying I think she can crack into the top 10 and be a real problem for some people. Caliari, I've never really been that big of a fan. She loses to Ernesta again in a split decision. How it was a split, I'll never understand. I thought Ernesta like totally got the better of her. Caliari, she's big, she's strong, but I don't know. Like she just doesn't. She's not fluid with her movements. She's just kind of stiff, and I just think on the feet, it's going to be a Carli Judice. It's just going to be a clinic there. If Caliari can get it on the ground, okay, yeah, maybe she can hold her there. But I watched her get Ernesta down on the ground and really couldn't hold her there. And Ernesta is a true kickboxer here. So never forget her win was I believe this woman had just had a baby.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So that was her big win on Contender Series. I'm not high on Caliari at all. It's a steep price, but I do like Judice. I would like to continue betting on her, and I don't know how many more opportunities we're going to get when, she's this inexperienced. Because if she keeps winning, they're just going to keep moving her up. But in this one, I have Carli Judice by decision. What do you think?
Well, Carli's doing all the right things in the beginning of her career. She's taking fights. She's exciting. UFC obviously wants to push her. Training with Rose Namajunas, great place to be. Absolutely fantastic place to be. Because in a young fighter, the cerebral side is very important. And Rose has turned into very much so a cerebral fighter as much as she can be. Carli does get hit. And that is the worry. That should get better with time. The more comfortable you are in the cage, the more fluid your movement is. And I think her defense is going to get better. What I worry about with Carli is that she does not show damage very well at all. She's got that fair skin that the second she gets touched in the face, it looks like her nose is exploded. And you're like, geez, Carli, what happened? You got hit with one punch. It looks like you got hit with a shovel. But her striking is just absolutely beautiful with her combinations. I thought she looked very patient in her last fight, very tactical. The combinations were on point. You're not going to see one shot from Carli. With Nicolle, you're going to see combinations, but they're going to be flailing. I got a great comparison, I believe, for Caliari, and that is a Jessica Andrade-style striker, where it is bullish, it's brutish. There's not a lot of perfect technique behind it. It's more big hooks, not straight shots down the middle. Now, she does have power, but what we've also seen with Caliari is that she's going to have a very hard time with a volume striker who can go three. So like you said, if she cannot hold her down and this is a volume striking fight on the feet, I think she's going to be in trouble because we know Carli's going to dig in round 2 and round 3. She's got that dog in her, like we like to say.
Yeah.
She's a true fighter, a true MMA fighter who came up in MMA. The threat is Caliari in round 1. If she doesn't get there, it's going to be Carli all day. I actually like Carli by decision in this fight. I could see Caliari hanging in there.
Yeah, I was thinking of Hannah Goldie as the comparison to
That's a good one, too.
Caliari. So
mine was a compliment. Yours is a bit of an insult.
Meet in the middle there.
But
somewhere.
same process, yeah.
Move on to Brunno, Ferreira, and Jackson McVey. Going to you first. What do you make of this fight?
Poor Jackson McVey. What a turn of events. What a turn of events. Guy makes weight last week. You know how we hate multiple weight cuts. Let's start with that. Let's get that elephant out of the room right now. So he gets paid his show money, but he had to make the weight cut. Now he gets Brunno Ferreira. Now, I am on record. If you watch this channel, you guys know how I feel about Brunno Ferreira. I do not believe that he is a very good fighter. I just don't. Arman, the win. Arman Petrosian washed? I think so.
He very well could be. It's a good point because Arman has just looked like a shell of himself.
Yeah, I mean, to be submitted by Brunno Ferreira is a bad look. Dustin Stoltzfus was doing everything right against him and then just got nailed. Absolutely floored. Beats the chinny Phil Hawes, gets smoked by Nursultan Rudzaboyev, and gets smoked by Abus Magomedov in the third. And this is the Abus who can't wrestle. The Magomedov who can't wrestle. So, not really high on Brunno Ferreira. However, something has to be said about experience. Jackson McVey is a kill or be killed 6-0 fighter. We have absolutely no clue what this guy is going to look like in round 2. None. We cannot go back to amateur fights from 2022 and make that decision. So, of course, I'm going to pick Brunno Ferreira. I will not pick the debuting multiple weight cut Jackson McVey. I think Ferreira is going to get him out of here at some point. Jackson McVey is very wild on the feet. Kill or be killed. So give me the guy with the more experience who didn't cut weight twice.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno's so steamed and, he's such a huge... You're going to have to take him by finish, which I don't mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fight to end in the first round. Possibly. Jackson McVey just comes out guns blazing. So unders would be the only way, but even the unders are really juiced. I probably am not getting to the window. I think don't see many lines in this fight that aren't just completely, gone haywire here. The books are saying no. You're not going to catch us sleeping on unders in this fight. You're not going to let us sleep on Brunno Ferreira here. So, speaking of unders, Ryan Spann takes on Lukasz Brzeski. Boy, two bad fighters here, Jim. The thing is, when you pick a winner on this one, you're picking a really struggling fighter, but so it's like the lesser of two evils. I just want nothing to do with Lukasz Brzeski. I even fighting Ryan Spann. I have Spann by KO. Brzeski's chin appears to be just completely gone. It is kind of amazing that his win is Walter Walker, who now is just heel hooking everybody he faces. That's such an odd looking win, but Mick Parkin knocking him out, and then Kennedy knocking him out, and Waldo Cortez knocking him out. This guy's chin is gone. Who knows what happens in this fight if it makes it to the second round, because both these guys are gas bags. They get tired really easily, but I'm taking Ryan Spann. If he just lands one shot on Brzeski's chin, I think it's over. What say you?
You're 100% right that these are two bad fighters.
They're bad.
However,
man.
There's levels to this. Ryan Spann is still a UFC fighter. I have never felt that Lukasz Brzeski is a UFC fighter. To be honest, he should have been cut a while ago. Let's be real.
Yes.
Okay, so he's here to be cannon fodder for whoever they put him in against. It's that simple. He beat Fat Waldo. or Fat Walker.
Yes.
Not the Walker that we're seeing now. And if you remember correctly, he was losing until he beat Fat Walker. So if that fight rematches, I think we know exactly how that goes. A fourth heel hook in a row. Like you said, being knocked out by Mick Parkin, absolutely horrible look. Mick Parkin is good, but he is not a knockout artist.
No.
And Kennedy, at heavyweight, we just spoke about this last week. how, Walker was Kennedy's first real tested heavyweight. This guy's not supposed to be a heavyweight. The fact is that he can't take the supplements that he was taking before the UFC, so now he has to fight at heavyweight because he doesn't have the nutrition or the dedication to be at 205 pounds. Now, Ryan Spann, I don't think if it's a dedication or nutrition issue why he's up here. This is another guy who sees holes in the heavyweight division and says, I can go up there and get some wins. And I don't have to cut weight. My chin should be better. My cardio should be better. I think this is going to be Ryan Spann. However, I have Ryan Spann by sub. I think this ends in round 1. It's going to be a Ryan Spann sub. He's going to hurt Brzeski. We've seen Brzeski duck his head every time he's hurt.
Wow.
Whether he's falling to the canvas or not. Ryan Spann has a good submission game. I could see a sub coming in. Club and sub for Ryan Spann. And Lukasz Brzeski leaves town. I'm also not going to pass up my last opportunity to bet against Lukasz Brzeski.
That's another great point. We only get limited opportunities to bet against these fighters, and you can't pass. You can't be like, well, I'll see how he looks and then bet him next time. No, listen, Contender Series in a few weeks. This is the season where fighters get cut or fighters retire. Lauren Murphy was off for 2.5 years. All right, I'll fight and I'll retire. So, yeah, absolutely. This is the season where you look to fade these guys. We've done really well. When you see a guy who's just terrible, you get 1, maybe 2 more chances to fade him. You have to unload on it. So, yeah, Spann by finish inside the distance. And, again, we always recommend if you're going to play those finish props with your own money, take the inside the distance. Don't pick KO, don't pick sub. I know we do the method of victory video. It's a lot more for fun than anything. We're betting real money. It's just inside the distance or not. So, move on to Jimmy Crute against Marcin Prachnio. Go to you first. How do you see this fight going down?
Still one of my absolute favorite quotes ever uttered by anybody is that Jimmy Crute fights like he's walking on Legos. It is the best description of how Jimmy Crute walks around the cage. They are doing everything they can to give this kid a win. You have to remember that the Australian market is a big market for the UFC, so they want Jimmy Crute around. They don't really care what happens to Marcin Prachnio. He doesn't bring people into the seats. He doesn't do much. Prachnio has absolutely no ground game to speak of, which is the big elephant in the room in this fight. The question is Jimmy Crute going to go for it? Now, Crute doesn't have the best wrestling, but if this fight ends up on the ground, he should absolutely dominate Marcin Prachnio. Also, Jimmy Crute makes big mistakes. I went back and I watched the fight against, not Crute, Prachnio's fight against, who's the guy who's Bukauskas, right?
Yeah, it was bad.
Prachnio can be really tricky with his kicks in close, and he clipped Bukauskas with a absolutely beautiful head kick from like clinch range. So you see the dexterity and the kickboxing skills. So my favorite bet in this fight is this not to go the distance. Either Jimmy Crute drops the ball or he's going to get the grappling going, and Prachnio's not going to survive 3 rounds against Jimmy Crute when it comes to grappling. I lean Crute as far as a money line play because I will not have my money on Marcin Prachnio in 2025. So give me Jimmy Crute. I'll take Jimmy Crute by finish. But love the under. Love the under and no distance. Under 2.5, no distance.
Yeah, I saw Crute talking about how he really wants a finish in this fight. Now, they all say that, but he almost got to finish in his comeback. He almost had Dulatov out of there several times. This is pretty interesting, though. You got to go back to 2020 before he's actually won a fight, but Prachnio's pretty rough. I agree that I was surprised that Crute didn't try and do more wrestling against Dulatov, but when you get tired, you don't want to wrestle. It zaps your energy really quick. So I could see Crute kind of struggling the more the fight goes on. But again, it's against Prachnio. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but yeah, I'm betting on Jimmy Crute. So we move on to Adam Fugitt against Islam Dulatov. This Dulatov, man, he's an animal. I got our write-ups from last season of, of Contender Series where we do all of our write-ups here. And this is what we wrote in the moment on Dulatov. Incredible hand speed, very accurate striking. Swarms on hurt opponents, goes for finish. We don't know how his cardio is outside the first round. Good job stepping in and out of range. Wide karate stance. Could struggle with leg kicks. Kill or be killed. That's a big one. He is kill or be killed, man. This guy comes out with a flurry. It's like this is like Dana White's ultimate hard-on fighter.
Yeah,
just
loves
like
these
this
guys.
guy comes out and just tries to nuke everybody. So, and listen, it's worked up to this point. This poor guy who fought him was just so overwhelmed. It was hilarious. But yeah, round one. Decision, but that's boxing. Round one. You get it. Round two, round one. We don't know what this guy's cardio is going to look like. We have no idea. And I'm a little worried with laying this kind of juice on Dulatov, man. Like, Fugitt, is he great? No. But he did get a split decision against Josh Quinlan, and if he survives that early onslaught, Dulatov is an unknown in round two. This is a huge live betting opportunity. If Fugitt can, I don't know, wrestle, clinch, just hold him against the fence for a little bit in the first round and avoid getting creamed in this early onslaught that you know Dulatov is going to have, I think he's live for a live bet, and he's already at plus money. You're going to get 10-1, 20-1 on him if he survives this early onslaught and Dulatov starts to slow down in the slightest. Because, listen, Fugitt, he can go the distance. We know he can. I just worry about that early onslaught. Can he work leg kicks? Can he not get clipped? Because Dulatov might be one of the best I've ever seen it. When he gets clipped, he just goes for broke, and there's no surviving it. You get clipped once, he's probably finishing you. So, I don't have a pre-flop. I would be terrified to put Dulatov in any of my parlays, but I'm hoping Fugitt can survive and I get a nice juicy number where I can invest just a little bit for a big possible return if Dulatov gets tired. What's your take on this fight?
I think Dulatov is going to absolutely destroy Adam Fugitt. That's what I think. We are on opposite
You're
sides of
probably
this
right.
one. I don't think
You're
Adam
probably
Fugitt has a
right.
shot. Fugitt is super slow. Leaves his head on the center line when he's punching.
You're very true. Yes, you're right.
That is a recipe for disaster for a guy that is going to run across the cage and throw missiles at you from the start of the fight until the ref pulls him off. Fugitt is just look at these. Okay, so he beats Josh Quinlan. Keep in mind, this is Josh Quinlan who wasn't allowed to have the juice. And what did we see from Josh Quinlan in the rest of his UFC career? He was an absolute bust. Absolute bust. Here,
Yeah.
look at Josh's profile picture.
I mean, he's
right there.
losing to Sam Kilmer
Come on,
in
man.
Fury FC in round one. Wow.
Yeah, the loss to Danny Barlow for him looks bad because Danny Barlow only has a left hand that's not even that good. It's only
Yeah.
good when he's knocking out cans. Trey Waters, come on, bro. Like, we can't hang our hat. That's Adam Fugitt's latest win. All right? Look at his wins. Solomon Renfro, the
Yeah,
perennial
and that-
PFL fade, and LFA fade, Solomon Renfro.
Yep. Don't forget about Kinoshita. That's a big win.
Kinoshita, great last name, not a great fighter either. Losing to Mike Malott in round 2, and Mike Malott is a gas bag. So if we're worried about,
easy there. He's got 2 rounds of good cardio.
he fixed it now. It's
He
better
did
now.
fix it, but not back then.
Because now he's going to decisions. That's why he realized he
Yep.
has to win a decision. I think just Dulatov is going to absolutely destroy Fugitt. I've never been a huge fan of Fugitt. I've been duped into betting on him before, and it's not going to happen again. I think this is going to be Dulatov by murder. I don't mind it by finish. I don't even know what the line is on by finish, but you're probably going to have to parlay it, I would think.
I mean, you can just look at. I mean, you can look at. I mean, here you go. Minus 115 is winning round 1. Minus 115. Yeah. If you've watched Dulatov fight, He is not going for the round 2 KO. He's not going for the decision win. He is going for the round 1 KO. What do you say about Derek Lewis? He does not get paid by the hour. So that's pretty interesting.
What I love about Dulatov, too, is that he just does not just go for the knockout. You look at his record, there's a bunch of submissions on it, too.
He's a maniac, man.
I'm sure
He's
a lot
maniac.
of them are club and subs and, those two cats in an alley. It's just a cloud of dust, and all of a sudden one's got one's back. That's kind of him. So he's an equal opportunity finisher here. So
he's
It's
fun.
either a round prop or a by finish. I'm rooting for him. I'm kind of done with the Adam Fugitt experiment.
He's a fun watch for sure. So before we get to the next fight, our UFC pack is up. UFC 318 Gold Best Bets are up. Really finding our groove. Had a rough June, but still really profitable for the year and swept last week's card. We had one just pure UFC play. We had a cross-sport parlay where we hit a few legs in there. Had a great read on the card. It was very chalky. We didn't get too cute with trying to pick some underdogs. Not really sure how this week's card sets up top to bottom. I think we're due for some upsets, but we've only got 2 bets in there right now, and it's just the best of the best. It's our 2 favorite. If we have any more, we'll add them. But at this point, probably not. It's a PFL week, so we're going to have some PFL plays as well. And listen, based on this new tax law, we all met as a team and we said, what are we going to do about this? Well, we really lowered the volume across all sports. We only had 10 plays in all sports with 5 of us working as a team, but we went 7-3, including the MMA sweep. So we're going to continue to be low volume and try and hit that really high percentage, which means we're not going to have plays every single night in all sports, but we got you covered for UFC and for PFL. This should be a big, big week in MMA. So go grab that UFC pack. 2 best bets are up. We are still #1 MMA handicapper at Wager Talk. We have not given up that crown since the very first fights in 2025. We are very, very proud of that. Love to go wire to wire. So, all right, let's go back to... is this the easiest under or the most obvious under that probably trips everybody up? Could you see something stupid happening here with this one? Gautier versus Robert Valentin. I'll go back to our write-up on Gautier. He's just a monster. Here he is. Really strong. Not good form on takedown defense, but he's so strong. He held his opponent up. Striking good, but raw. Young, needs to work on wrestling. This guy's just a tank, man. He's just an absolute tank. He's one of those guys where he's standing in the octagon, and you're like, how are these guys in the same weight division? That guy's a monster. So he is young. He is raw. I think everyone's going to be on him by KO. I'd like your thoughts on this one, Jim. I'm not sold that Gautier is going to run through Robert Valentin like everyone thinks. What do you think?
Will it happen in round 1? No.
Okay.
I do believe at some point he gets him out of there.
Look at this guy, man. Look at that physique.
That's
unbelievable.
Okay, so Valentin has really struggled with the physicality of the fighters that he's fought. And the fighters that he's fought aren't physical monsters. Like Ryan Loder, good wrestler. Physical beast? No, not necessarily. Torres Finney, built like a fire hydrant. We can scream and moan about the Torres Finney fight and how bad it was.
Yeah, we will.
But the bottom line is that this guy couldn't get him off of him. That is a really... I hate to use the word pathetic, but when you know this guy is just going to grab your ankles, can't you circle? Can't you do something? And what was damning to me is his cardio was non-existent.
Okay.
Absolutely non-existent. So he's tired. Yeah, he pours it on in the third, and Finney does absolutely nothing.
Pours it on.
It was pretty one-sided.
Pours it on.
It was pretty one-sided. Torres Finney was just ankle-biting for the entire third. But Gautier is just a physical beast, an absolute physical monster. I was not super impressed with him on contenders. There's going to be holes in his game.
Sure.
He really impressed me against Jose Medina. I thought he looked way better technique-wise. Now, Jose Medina.
Against Jose Medina.
Hold on. Watch the fight and don't look at who he's fighting. Just watch how he moves. I saw an improvement in the smoothness of his striking.
Fair.
The straightness of his punches. The building of his combinations. It shows an advancing mind in striking. I don't believe that Valentin is going to survive the damage that is going to come his way. He does not need many shots to put damage on you. And if he does end up on top of Valentin, that is not a place you want to be getting ground and pounded with this guy on top. I just think the physicality is going to be a big, big problem for Valentin in this spot.
All right, well, Valentin, listen, his 2 losses are to wrestlers. That's what Ryan Loder does, and he just did it really good. That's what Torres Finney does. Like he had 2 terrible matchups. On the Ultimate Fighter, he got his first 2 opponents out of there so quick they made him an assistant coach. Mm-hmm. That's how good he was. I mean, he is a striker, and I think UFC is like, all right, enough with giving him the wrestlers. Let's give him a striker to go up against. This is why I like the under. These guys are going to stand and bang. Someone's going to sleep, and someone's going to sleep early. I don't know. With these 2 guys, when I get this young guy, Gautier, who we have holes in his game, he's not going to wrestle Valentin. Valentin's not that bad. Yeah, he got taken out against Loder and Torres Finney. That's not what Gautier does. Gautier wants to land those big shots. And I think Valentin's a sneaky enough veteran that he can show Gautier some things that Gautier just hasn't seen yet. So I'm not going to be betting on Gautier in any parlays. I do see a path to victory for Robert Valentin, and that is he is a good striker, and I just don't. I mean, yeah, Jose Medina, this is a massive step up for him. Robert Valentin is no slouch on the feet, so don't be surprised if Robert Valentin has a couple moments. I'm fully prepared. Listen, when you get these 2 big knockout guys and Gautier smokes him in the first couple minutes, I'm fine with looking stupid on it, but I'm not going to be surprised if Valentin has something for him and makes this pretty competitive. Now, of course, Gautier has the 1-shot knockout power, so even if Valentin is having success, bang, it just takes 1 shot. But I don't know.
It's a live bet spot. It's most certainly a keep your live lines open spot.
Yeah.
Valentin survives. 1,000%. 1,000%.
All right, we'll move on to Francisco Prado against Nikolay Veretennikov. I did a free play that is up on Wager Talk on this very fight. I'm interested in your take.
Wanted to be a Prado supporter. I don't believe that Veretennikov is a very good fighter, and I think that is going to really help Prado in this fight. I would say that Prado is the guy that they want to push. He seems to have a real cult following.
Really?
In the space. A lot of guys talk about Prado. He's the next. Here's my problem with him. He's in the wrong weight class.
I was to say, in fact, he's too small and doesn't have any reach.
Way too small with stumpy arms. It's a big problem.
Yep.
When you can't control where the fight takes place, you start the fight at a huge disadvantage. Now, Veretennikov just comes off getting finished by Mr. Paige Van Zandt in his debut. Not the best of looks. Kind of competitive fight until that point.
No, it wasn't. Vanderford laid on top
washed,
of him.
but it was like he just laid there. He wasn't getting washed. He just laid there.
I think he got washed.
Prado ain't taking him down. Prado's going to swing and bang. So
Fair.
Is he more live in this than he would be against Vanderford? I would say so. Split decision against Danny Barlow. Again, we already spoke about Danny Barlow. Unimpressed. He was sick. He couldn't breathe. Then he came out in his next fight and looked like crap as well. So always believe the fighters in their interviews, guys. They always tell the truth. They're always in the best shape of their career, right? They're always finally healthy.
I'm looking for the finish. Yeah, what is the checklist there? I'm all like,
let's see.
I'm in the best shape of my life. Had a great camp. I'm looking for the finish.
Coming into my own. That's always
coming into my own. Title run.
Oh, that's a good one.
Looking for the title run or a top 10 opponent. Yeah, just checks all the boxes of all the cliche. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's for our friend John Joan in the chat who just is like, "What's up with all the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ after all the wins?" So, just does make you wonder who the loser blames. But anyway,
True.
back to Prado and Veretennikov. Best shape of his life.
I think this is going to be a hold your nose and bet it spot, but my favorite bet in this is the fight to go the distance.
Okay.
I think both guys are tough enough. I think Prado's going to have a hard time finding Veretennikov on the feet with that reach disadvantage and height issue. So I could see this end up being just like a bloody close fight going into a decision. I'm not willing to put my money on Prado, and I'm most certainly not willing to put my money on Veretennikov.
I am not high on Veretennikov at all. The guy lost to a sick striker and then lost convincingly to a wrestler, a guy that held him down. I mean, Prado, he's small. I mean, even in this picture, you can tell how short his arms are. Mm-hmm. Like it's really noticeable. But listen, who did he lose to? Daniel Zellhuber, who was really long, created that distance problem, and then Jake Matthews, who, you be honest, Jake Matthews not looking too bad. 3 wins in a row. So I think this is a big step down for Francisco Prado. He's got to avoid those 3 losses in a row, and he is going to stay in Veretennikoff's face. I don't think Nikolay can handle the pressure at all. It's just, what is the reach here of Veretennikoff, the height and the reach here of this guy? He has 6'1", 74. He's got to figure out how to use the jab. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's just going to be Prado marching forward, and it's going to look good to the judges when Prado is looking forward to. I like Prado just because I'm so down on Nikolay. Somebody brought up I was talking about this, and somebody was like, "No, you can't bet against somebody whose last name ends in OV."
No.
This is not Khabib's, guys. Like you got to know where these OV fighters are coming from and what their skill set is, because this guy ain't wrestling. He ain't taking anybody down in the UFC.
His first name's Nikolay. You can't look at just the last name. There's no Nikolays in Khabib's camp.
No. So, Francisco Prado will be the pick for me. Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen. I'll let you go first. How do you break down Vettori and Allen? To me, this is just, it comes down to one thing and one thing only.
Well, I'm going to open up this breakdown with saying this. Marvin, feel for you, man.
Shout out to Marvin Vettori. Personal tragedy is terrible. Heart goes out to him. I can't imagine what him and the family went through. I'll let you guys look it up. But this is a betting show. We have a job to do. So we can have compassion for the guy while still acknowledging he's going through personal tragedy, and it has to have an effect on his mindset.
Yeah, I want to get that out of the way before we get to the X's and O's. I don't wish ill will upon anybody going through what he's going through. But the bottom line is, if you take that out, that Marvin is the same exact fighter, if not worse, than he was back in 2021. And I would venture to say it's worse. You can't have Marvin Vettori's style that is not a long-term success style. I would say that he used to fight very similarly to Bilal, where it was march forward and pitter-patter punches, not really a knockout artist. Lately, in all of his fights, it's Marvin getting backed up, and that is a really, really alarming thing. I've heard, he's sitting on his punches more. No, he's sitting on his punches because he's got his back against the fence. He's not marching forward throwing bombs. And it just seems like his style has become this skirt around the outside and only throw the lead hand. Now, I don't know which shoulder it was he had surgery on. It was a bad shoulder injury. But it just seems he's very lead hand dominant in his striking. The kicking game is really not much to speak of. It's not threatening in any way. And the real alarming thing is we haven't seen him really be able to push the wrestling and hold people down. I just don't believe that he'll be very focused. There is emotions that's going to come into this. And no matter what anybody says, it's on your mind. He's running into Brendan Allen. And I don't care about the fight in the casino, all right? Who gives a crap? They threw one punch and everybody broke it up. Everyone's making such a big deal about it. It means nothing, Okay, both guys were probably drunk. All right, both guys probably lost 4 or 5 grand. They're already pissed off. All right, whatever. It's not a fight. It's a scrap in a casino. Brendan Allen just has a way
Both
more
guys
nervous.
probably were down at the black.
I'm sure they were. Come on. Come on. You can't be sitting there playing blackjack, blowing your fight purse, and be happy about it. Everybody wins at the casinos, right, Andy?
Yeah, that's why they're so big, because everybody's
Everybody's
wins.
winning.
By the way, I'll just add this about the surgery. I can't find which soldier, but he says, I smashed my shoulder. My shoulder came out, destroyed my rotator cuff and labrum. Even my bicep was a very heavy surgery. So, but I would also like to say, yeah. I would also say, in the article, the journalist asked like what he did, what did he do during his layoff, and this is a direct quote: "Been in Miami, big booty Latinas. That's what I've been up to." You go, Marvin. You get it, Marvin.
Live your life, brother.
Live your life, Marvin.
Live your life.
Direct quote.
So Brendan Allen, much more well-rounded game. Not the best wrestler offensively, but good enough. Great jiu-jitsu. Absolutely great jiu-jitsu. Striking has come a long way. I wish he would not fall in love so much with his striking and commit more to the wrestling. I'm not going to fault him for losing to Anthony Hernandez.
No.
Okay? Because it's Anthony Hernandez. And it's lazy for anyone to say, he just got washed by Anthony Hernandez. Oh, wait. So Anthony Hernandez did what Anthony Hernandez does. So that's Brendan Allen's fault, right?
Yeah.
Loses to Nasruddin Umavov. Oh, Nasruddin Umavov did what he did. So that's Brendan Allen's fault, right? See where this trend is going here? He did not lose that fight to Chris Curtis. I don't understand why people continually go on and saying that Chris Curtis was robbed that fight. I thought Allen clearly won that fight. I went and rewatched that this week. Does what he needs to do against Paul Craig. Does what he needs to do against Bruno Silva. Does it? You just go down. And this guy is a legitimate UFC veteran at this point. The other thing that we're not going to talk about, and nobody has brought up, and we noticed this the week of the fight, is Brendan Allen just had a baby before that Anthony Hernandez fight. Had a second child. So now we're removed from the baby theory. I think Brendan Allen rolls in this spot. I'm going to say it's Brendan Allen by decision. Probably going to break 2 rounds and take the third easy. However, be careful. Because if he takes Marvin's back, and Marvin has an adrenaline dump like we're thinking he's going to have, Brendan Allen is very, very live for the submission. I don't believe he knocks out Marvin Vetorri. But the submission is on the table for Brendan Allen if Marvin just is not there. So
yeah,
hope things get better for Vetorri, but I'm picking Allen in this fight. Love Allen.
Yeah, when I said to me this fight comes down to one thing: is Marvin Vetorri going to be there? I mean, listen, the win that shows up there, that was a grappling match in 2023. So his last 2 fights, Jared Cannonier loses. He looked terrible against Roman Dolidze. It looked terrible, and maybe it was the shoulder surgery. Maybe it was the rust. This is a pretty quick turnaround for him, losing in 2025. And just the way that he's only 31, but doesn't it feel like he fights much older than that? It's like
that was the first thing that we said in the last fight. I remember in round 1,
he looks old.
We said Marvin looks old. We live bet the absolute hell.
Yes.
Against
Marvin.
That
was a big lie. It was a big lie. When in that first round, you were like, "Oh my God, he looks like." He looks like Tom Cruise. What was it? Far and Away. What was that? The movie with him and Nicolle Kidman, where Tom Cruise is like the like some of Tom Cruise's opponents, where they just
boxer.
They just stood there like this. That's what he looked like. He was fighting. It was like, my God, this guy's like getting torpedoed here. So I don't know, man. When guys start to look like that, like, unless you go on Aroni Barcelos' diet plan and medicine plan and vitamins plan, you don't all of a sudden get way more nimble. So that's to me what it comes down to. Is Marvin Vetorri completely washed or completely done or just lost his athleticism? So you got stuff going on outside the octagon. You got stuff going on inside the octagon. It's more of a bet against Marvin Vetorri than it is saying, oh, Brendan Allen, all of his skills match up great against him. I just think you get a chance to fade these guys that are out of their prime and slowing down, then yeah, you got to take advantage of it. So I'm with you. I don't even want to say I'm betting on Brendan Allen, but it's like just betting against Marvin Vetorri.
You could say it that way. That's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
Those are the best spots. Fade the bad fighters, not the good ones.
Yeah, you're not betting on the good fighter. You're trying to bet against the bad ones. All right, Kyler Phillips and Vinicius Oliveira, going to you first. What do you think?
Kyler Phillips, round 1. Close round 2. Vinicius Oliveira, round 3.
Okay.
Vinicius Oliveira by decision.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
He's going to land the bigger shots. He's going to land the better shots. Kyler Phillips is an absolute monster in round 1. But it is a proven fact that this guy cannot go 3 at that pace. He is absolutely atrocious at setting cruise control. We talk about those fighters that are just cruise control. From the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight, they go one speed, and they can maintain that. Kyler Phillips is the polar opposite, okay? He is a dragster that needs to go a quarter mile, and he's got half a gallon of fuel to do it.
I like that.
And he's going to burn through all of it to get that quarter mile. After that, he's done. The striking has not advanced. He throws flashy stuff, but look, when you're watching striking, the flashy and the oohs and ahs are great. But really, after he tries these things, what does he have? After he throws his spinning back kick or his spinning hook kick, what does he have? There's no crisp, clean 1-2s and combinations. It's flashy one shot and conserve my energy because I can't go 3. And Oliveira, who we were ready to fade, thank God we didn't, because he has looked damn good since getting to the UFC. The win against Saeed, great fight. The win against Simone, that was the one where Simone was hurt, and I'm not going to take it away from Oliveira, but what I will say is Oliveira hurt his shin in that fight, and he fought through it. He hurt his leg bad in that first round against Simone, and he fought through it and got through it. We all know the knockout of Sopaj, right? All know the knockout of Sopaj. I just think this Oliveira guy's legit, man, and I can't bet on a fighter who I can pencil in to lose round 3, especially with these judges. It's the last thing you see. Oliveira's going to land the bigger shots. I think his defensive wrestling is going to be good enough in 2 and 3 to keep it on the feet.
Yeah, I'll start with Oliveira. So we had him by finish against Spy was coming on short notice, and we're just like, the bet's dead, because it was like Vinicius not taking it serious. Like he wasn't going for it. I remember we were doing a live show. And we were like, you got to be kidding me. Spy's beat to hell, and we're not going to get the finish. And then Vinicius lands one of the most vicious flying knees I have ever seen. It was brutal, and it was just like, oh my God, there was that flash of what he can really do. And that was his debut. So that, I was like, I don't know, this guy looks cocky. So then we bet on Ricky Simone. Immediately as the fight starts, we're like, Ricky Simone is hurt. You cannot tell me different. So we started live betting Vinicius. Then Vinicius gets hurt. And we're like, oh my God, we're sitting there with bets on 2 guys that are hurt. But you're right. It looked it was kind of different because if you watched him against Sopai, you'd be like, this guy probably isn't great with adversity. Guy this cocky, not that great. Then he showed some toughness against Ricky Simone. And then he goes into the fight against Saeed Nurmagomedov. And afterwards, he's talking about he's injured. He starts crying, saying, I wasn't going to cancel this fight. You're like, well, what happened? Did he get hurt in the ring? No. It turned out this guy had cartilage separate from his rib in training camp. And looking this up, people end up in the hospital thinking they're having a heart attack with this. This guy goes through training camp, and then he gets into the octagon and beats Saeed Nurmagomedov with this injury. And now you're going, okay, maybe I had a complete wrong read on that. How many guys would have backed out of that fight? All of them? And
not
let
only that,
alone
how many guys would have given up in the fight? Because remember, he was hurt to the body in the fight as well.
Yes. So he showed you what talk about got that dog in him. This is and literally he's got that dog in his nickname. Now I see where that comes from. He's only 29 years old. He's 22-3. Reading up about that injury and reading up, he called out Umar. Mm-hmm. It was like, Like, everyone's scared to call out Umar. I want Umar. Like, okay, now you're talking my language, man. Now you're the guy. Like, and what else did he say? It's like, yeah, I've already beaten 4 Russians. Give me another one. Who
My
says
style
that?
matches up poorly for them.
Who has
ever thought that?
He says they match up poorly against me. I went from not liking this guy because of his performance against Bernardo Sopai to now I am now on the Vinicius Oliveira bandwagon. I like it. So, yeah,
what
Kyler
was it you
Phillips.
saw as well about Prado?
What?
Or Prates, right?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
he
he said
training-
he was.
right?
Yeah, so he said, yeah, so Oliveira said, I'm going to Thailand to get back to training. Carlos Prates is going to help me find the best place. Anybody that's working with Carlo Prates, who's working with Kyle Barallo and Gene Silva, I don't care even if it's just saying, hey, go to this place. I'm all in. You have my attention. So, yeah, Kyler Phillips. Here's the other thing about Kyler Phillips. We've had a damn good read. On him. We took him to beat Marcelo Rojo. We took him to beat Barcelos. We took him to easily beat Pedro Munoz, and then we came back and we faded him against Rob Font. We called that fight to a T. So whenever we have these fighters that we think we have really good reads on, we're going to continue to do that. And that's exactly what we said. We said Rob Font is going to have too many strikes and too much energy in the last 2 rounds. And that is exactly how it played out. Kyler Phillips looked great early, faded late, and Rob Font gets the unanimous decision. So you said Kyler Phillips looks great in round 1. I'm not ruling out Vinicius looking great in round 1. I'm not ruling him out. After watching what he did against Sight, go back and watch that fight and just think of it.
Think of a
now
knife
picture
in
him
your
getting
side.
stabbed. A knife coming out of his ribs. That's what he did in that fight. So, all the respect to Vinicius. I hope I'm not, being too hyperbolic with it. But yeah, I like Vinicius, and just being able to predict Kyler Phillips fights over and over again. It's in a good fight. We're in a good place there. So, all right, move to the main card. Michael Johnson and Daniel Zellhuber. Please, Jim, please don't tell me we're going to give Michael Johnson credit for beating Darius Flowers by decision and Azaitar in round 2 when he was kind of struggling with him in round 1. Please tell me you're not putting too much weight into those. Who do you like here, Michael Johnson, Daniel Zellhuber?
Michael Johnson owes me some money. Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
He owes me some money. All right, beating a Zaitar when he was losing. I remember I live bet a Zaitar. I've been burned twice on live bets. Darius Flowers is horrible. All right, but he I bet Flowers ahead of time. I'll never do that again. That was a mess. I remember going back to the Diego Ferreira fight where it's like, Diego's kind of old, and then just nukes Johnson.
Yep.
So to me, Johnson's been the benefit of really good matchmaking these last 2 fights to end his career. If you put Zellhuber against Darius Flowers or Zaitar, it's going to be the same result.
Great point.
So credit to Michael Johnson. He did what he was supposed to do, is finish bad fighters. But now he's going to fight a young kid with more physical gifts who has a chin. And we know can take a shot. Now, when we first started watching Zellhuber, we said, this kid's going to have to go through some losses. We kind of knew he needed some learning in his career. And he has gone through this. Okay? The loss to Ribovitz. Look, Ribovitz is a freaking animal. Love that guy. Love his fights. Absolutely love it. No shame there. Does the job against Prado. Oh, I miss Christos Giagos. Can we get him another fight?
Oh, he was a great one. What's he doing these days? Is he done?
Yeah. Hasn't fought since he left
April
the UFC.
2024. Yeah, we may not be able to bet against him anymore.
Maybe he'll be the next guy to take a late replacement fight in PFL. We'll see.
Oh,
Maybe
that'd be
get
great.
Christos again. Zellhuber's coming into his prime. He's been on the shelf for a while. I don't believe it was because of any injury. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting, and they pulled some matchups out. I think they pulled the Elvis Brenner fight. They pulled Elvis to fight somebody else and left him without a matchup. Yada, yada, yada. Either way, we're looking at time for a young fighter to be able to get better at things. So he's been a caged animal just waiting to get in there. And they're giving him Michael Johnson. We know who the UFC wants to win. This is a very PFL-esque card where it's a setup. They want Zellhuber to win and get back on track here. So I will take Zellhuber. I do believe that he will finish Michael Johnson. Johnson's going to have such a hard time with the length. The counter-striking is not going to be able to touch him. And let's also not rule out some wrestling from Zellhuber. With those long arms, I could see him locking up a front choke series with those long arms, Kevin Holland-esque. So I like Zellhuber in this spot. I think he's parlayable. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add to that. I like Zellhuber a lot. There's a lot of juice on it, so it'll have to be, a parlay piece. But I feel pretty confident in Zellhuber. Yeah, Michael Johnson. I mean, I did. I went back and watched that Isatar fight. That first round, you're like, wow, not a good look. So, look who his last 4 wins are. Isatar, Darius Flowers, Mark Diakase, and Alan Nope. Sorry. Can't be betting on the aging Michael Johnson against Zellhuber. Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. We might go head-to-head on this one. Let's go. Who you got?
All right, I'll go first. Recently watched Embedded, saw Pitbull hanging out on a yacht fishing with his family.
There you
Nothing
go.
against that, but
Little R&R.
Got to fight in a couple days, just saying. He's older. You don't want to push it too much. I'll say it again. 44 professional fights.
Amazing.
Ton of wear and tear. And wars. These aren't like, I get a knockout. Wars. Even in a win, Pitbull's bleeding. Went back and watched the Yair fight, and we do agree that fight was closer than we, in hindsight, thought it was. But it's still a loss. It's still a unanimous loss at the UFC level. In Embedded, he stated that, he just was too comfortable in that fight with Yair. He should have pushed the pace more from the start. And he was used to fighting 5-round fights. And in a 3-round fight, he cannot be as patient. He's got to go in there and get going. Okay. To me, that sets up perfectly for me to want to bet Dan Ige. I don't want the Pitbull if I want to bet Dan Ige that is going to sit at range. I want the Pitbull that's going to come in there and try to take Dan Ige's head off. Because Dan Ige is one tough SOB to get out of there. Okay? He is a freaking animal in that cage. The Diego Lopez thing in decision, let's throw that out. That was a fun story. Whatever. We should have bet decision the second that happened.
Yeah.
All right? Is what it is. But Dan Ige is a mother to get out of there. And if Pitbull is going to march forward and think he is just going to run through Dan Ige, he's got a lot of firepower coming back his way. Okay? Dan gets the knockout of Woodson. Didn't look fantastic, losing the fight, but gets the knockout. Found a way to touch his chin. Talk about going to a completely different body type. You got giant Shawd Woodson, and now he's going to be able to touch Pitbull. He doesn't have to play at range. He's not going to have to figure out how to get inside. These guys instantly are going to meet in the middle of the ring. So I like Dan Ige in this spot. I think Pitbull goes 0-2 in the UFC. If he gets a third fight, they're going to throw him somebody that he can beat. Maybe they do the rematch with Chandler. They'll get a third fight with Chandler. Look, it's setting up perfect for it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Michael Chandler hasn't won a fight. Pitbull loses 2.
You're right.
Give him
you're
Chandler. Right. Chandler retires. Pitbull gets a win. They ride off into the sunset. I wrote the script for you. I like Ige. I like Ige in this spot here. I think Pitbull might go a little too hard, too fast, and be in trouble in the later rounds.
I think Pitbull tries to do more clinch in the wrestling. I think he tries to push Ige up against the fence. So Ige looked very good against Woodson. It was a horrific stoppage. I wonder if this is baked into the line. You go back and watch that stoppage. It's one of the worst stoppages ever. Was Woodson rocked? Yeah, but he was blocking punches, and the ref stops the fight, and Woodson is like, "What are you doing?" So he gets credited with it. It was a good fight, but loses to Laurel Murphy, and you throw out the Diego Lopez. So, this guy did lose to Bryce Mitchell. I mean, you can take him down. You can hold him there. So
that was pre-CTE, Bryce Mitchell.
Well, it's a great point, but Patricio, Pitbull's not. He's not as bad as post CTE Bryce Mitchell. So I just think the line is pretty crazy on this one. And yeah, I did. We had a big bet on Yair over Pitbull, and we celebrated. And we're like, oh, Yair got him. And then you go back and watch the fight, and you're like, Pitbull wasn't as bad as I remembered him. I remembered it being one-way traffic. It really wasn't. And Yair's just, he's so weird to fight. So I think Pitbull makes this pretty. I think Pitbull makes this pretty close, and these odds. I mean, money just is all on Ige coming in there. So. If I'm looking at some kind of parlay buster, this might be it. I think Pitbull's going to have some success against Ige. He's probably embarrassed by that last one, and wants to make a little bit of a name for himself here in UFC. Or maybe he comes out and doesn't care because he's on a yacht, fishing. So, but yeah, I'll go the other direction. That'll be fun. You go Ige, I'll go Pitbull in this one.
This will be our head-to-head of the week.
Yeah,
How'd
absolutely.
we do? What was our head-to-head last week? How did we do with that one?
Well, you had Toph, I had Tokos.
Yeah, so you won. You're 1-0 in the head-to-heads.
Well, listen, neither one of us are bragging about winning a Toph Tokos fight. But the live betting on Tokos was just absolutely fantastic. Anytime you see Toph tired, it's over. So, all right, you're the Kevin Holland whisperer. He fights Daniel Rodriguez. Nobody needs to listen to me about this fight because Jim has correctly predicted how many Kevin
What run are we on? What's our number up to here?
1, 2.
When's my last loss? My last loss was keep going.
You took the under there. Yeah, keep going. You took the under. You picked Michael.
Keep going.
You said Paige. Jack. Yeah, you are on quite the roll. You even said. By the way,
we had Thompson. We had Chimaev. We're good there.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go way, way back to see when the loss was.
But by the way, they keep saying this was an anaconda choke. Even Kevin Holland says it was a Darce choke.
I looked it up.
Was it technically an anaconda?
An anaconda choke and a Darce choke are the same choke.
Okay.
The arm positioning is different. So whether your arm is here or your hand is here, it's tough to do right here, but it depends where the shoulder is in the choke. Whether it's on this side or this side.
I'm just going by what Kevin Holland.
Anaconda or a Darce.
Oh my
now,
God.
that being said, just give him the damn submission.
I know. Just give him the Darce, please. It was going to be a record.
That being said, if they didn't give it to him, guess what submission Kevin Holland wants to get right now?
Yes.
Okay? Keep that in mind, folks. Here we go. Let's go down the checklist, shall we? Does Kevin need money? Andy?
I mean, he always needs money, but he's on a nice run. I mean, 3 fights in 2025. He's doing good. He threw in the towel against Ritter, but, he's only fighting on these pay-per-views, took no damage against Gunnar Nelson, took nothing against Luque. I would say life is pretty good for Kevin Holland. Does he need money? No. Does he want money? Yeah.
Yes, Kevin always wants money.
Sure.
Kevin always wants money. Does he need money? No. So that's one of our down. Is Kevin motivated? His fight's at 170. He has no choice to be.
Yeah, he's motivated. He's taking. I mean, he's literally taking only fights on pay-per-views.
Yes, he is serious and motivated at this point in his career. It's very, very obvious. There's the big one. Can Kevin's opponent wrestle?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Not just no. Hell no. Okay? Daniel Rodriguez has not offensively wrestled in his entire career. Okay? It's been defensive and cage clinching. This is another big fade for me is Daniel Rodriguez.
Absolutely.
38 years old at this point. No improvements to be seen at all. This fight was scheduled once before, and this was the whole wacky, let's pull him out and have him fight Chimaev. Great thing you did for Kevin Holland, right? I think Kevin Holland absolutely runs through Daniel Rodriguez. I do believe it's a submission. I think he's going to hurt D-Rod on the feet. They're going to get into a tussle, and he's going to lock something up. I do not see this going the distance. Kevin, again, is one that doesn't get paid by the hour. He's taking this fight seriously. I loved what I saw on Embedded, where he's training, how he's training. He's out of his own gym. Remember, he had his own gym and his podcast going. He, for a while, had the podcast thing, and he said, I'm not built for it. I tried it. It's not for me. He also said, I'm not going on anybody else's podcast. I'm not doing it. I'm making a serious run here in the later part of my career. Love Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland by finish. Daniel Rodriguez, see you later.
I'm with you. Daniel Rodriguez is a guy just been waiting to fade. A split decision against Morano, and then this terrible fight against Pons, where he gets where Pons is just terrible and using horrible fight IQ, leaves his chin wide open. I think we're getting. I can't believe they're putting Daniel Rodriguez against Kevin Holland. I really am stunned by this one. So, but hey, I'll take it, and I'm following your lead on Kevin Holland. So, Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov in the main event. I will go first on this one. If you're looking for upsets, I think Costa makes this one really, really close, and I would be really scared to put Kopylov in any of my plays. Kopylov, we've had a really good read on Kopylov. When he came off these losses against Carl Robertson and Albert Drive, we saw something different against this Stachirko. Like he started to mature, his game got a lot better. And then, man, we just made a killing on him in the next 3 fights. Yeah, betting, and then we made a killing betting against him against Anthony Hernandez. We stayed off of the Cesar Almeida fight because we like Cesar Almeida, and I'm glad that we did. And then he gets the win against Chris Curtis. But here's the thing, man. He's just really easy to get bloodied up on the face. Yeah. He's just easy to wear damage. His striking defense is nowhere to be found. He's got cardio issues at times. And Paulo Costa, just play the circus music whenever this guy fights. But he has one win since 2019, and that's against Luke Rockhold. But the fact is, he went the distance against Whittaker, and he made it interesting against Sean Strickland. You know, is he going to take the fight serious? I don't know. He's a goofball. I don't know what we're going to get, but I just know Kopylov, it just feels like every fight, it's just really close. And then you're like, I think Kopylov is winning, and then the round ends. You're like, why is Kopylov's face mashed in? Why does he have so much blood coming out of his nose? He just wears damage terrible. And I think the fans are going to be on Costa's side. I think he makes this really, really close. If you're looking for underdogs, this isn't one that really jumps off the page, but I'm just going, man, 3 rounds? Can Costa win 1 round just if he lands a couple big shots and puts some damage on Kopylov's face? Yeah, now Kopylov needs a finish, which I don't think he's finishing Costa anytime soon. Give me Costa here. I think he squeaks out 2 close rounds. His cardio's gotten a little better. It's not great, but neither is Kopylov's. This is just too big of a price to lay on Kopylov. So I'll call for the upset in the co-main. Costa wins a split decision, just gets enough striking going in 2 rounds to convince the judges that he wins 2 of them. So now if he comes out and looks like an absolute doofus and not taking it serious, yeah, I'll be live betting the you-know-what out of Kopylov. But pre-fight, it's Costa or nothing. What do you think?
I think Kopylov's going to try to wrestle.
Think so, huh?
Wild to say. But we've seen that when things get tough in his newer fights, he goes to the wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is what you're saying, is that he shows damage. He does get hit. Okay? We love Kopylov, but he does get hit. And you don't want to get hit by Paulo Costa. Now, Paulo Costa's not knocking guys out left and right anymore. Let's call a spade a spade. This isn't the Costa from 6-7 years ago. When was his last finish?
Uriah Hall, 2018.
Johnny Hendricks, when Johnny was off the juice. So
yeah, fat Johnny Hendricks.
Is that the mythical thing now? Is Costa's power a mythical thing? The guy does put great hand combinations together. He has been mixing in his kicks. This fight, I believe, was canceled and then rebooked, if I'm not mistaken. Fact check me on that there.
Yes. It's supposed to be in June. Now it's
July.
That was
Paulo Costa who pulled out. So you hit the nail on the head. It's a circus. Are we serious bettors, or are we doing this for fun?
That's a great point.
This is my PSA for everybody this week. I'll look right into the camera. Don't bet on this fight.
Yeah.
Just don't bet it. It's going to be close. It's going to be a circus. It's going to be a nightmare. Is the fight going to happen? Let's start with that. It's a Costa fight. Is he going to get drunk the night before? Like, what? It's literally happened.
No, it's actually, that's a real thing that has
happened. It's a real
happened.
thing. So do not bet this fight. Maybe you could have a live bet situation if you get into a spot where you think a guy could squeak out round 2. If you think the fans are on Costa's side and he could be up 2 rounds going into the third. But Coffee-Lut's cardio is a real concern in the third. You know Costa's going to be marching forward. He's going to be dripping wet, sweating his ass off, but he's going to be marching forward in round 3. So I don't think this fight has any value from a betting perspective. This is a prime, underdog spot that just throws everybody off. It's like the Wonder Boy Bonfim fight where nobody's happy with the outcome in the end. This just reeks of that co-main event slot as well. It's a big fight. Let it go.
Not getting paid on Stephen Thompson live betting it, but plus
I know.
400 or 500 was maddening. Maddening that they gave that to Bonfim. So
this fight smells just like it.
All right, main event, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. Right after that, we'll do our Parlay Buster and our Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. Again, remind everybody, our UFC 318 Gold Best Bets are up. We got 2 bets we're making, so we're breaking down all these fights for you. But what are we betting with our own money? We got 2 bets that we want to profit off of. Love these spots, so take advantage of that. Number 1 spot in Wager Talk for MMA for 2025. Great week in PFL. Great week in UFC. So take advantage of that. Only $25 for our 2 best bets. All right, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. I'll make mine quick. I'm not going to bet on this fight. I truly legit just want to be a fan and watch Dustin Poirier's last one. I don't want a financial investment in this. I really just want to enjoy it. If I'm breaking this down, it's Max Holloway all day for me. Just looking at, he was holding his own against Poirier. He was doing just fine. Before that, the insane fight against Gaethje where he really dominated, knocks out Jung, wins against Arnold Allen. So who's he lost to? Volkanovski and Poirier. Okay. Poirier's retiring for a reason. I don't think he's got that speed anymore. Loses to Makhachev, but he did hold his own, but he still lost. While St. Denis, staph infection from St. Denis. St. Denis falls apart in the second round. Loses with the big head kick to Gaethje. He does beat Chandler. Chandler had a lot of really good moments in that one, Jim. And now we're all the way back to 2022. I just don't know if Poirier's got enough left to take out Max Holloway. It's the BMF title. These guys are going to war in this one. This is going to be an absolutely insane fight. The official pick will be Max Holloway. I think he's got too much volume. I don't see the volume coming back from Poirier. Yeah, he's got some pretty decent power, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough from Poirier recently to think he can take out Max. And spare me that Dustin is 2-0 against it. One of the fights was 2012. Give me a break. I don't want to hear anybody tell me that Dustin is 2-0 and that goes in the handicapping. It doesn't. These guys are 2 completely different fighters. No money for me, but for the purposes of this video, I will pick Max Holloway. What say you?
Well, the first thing that you can guarantee is that if this fight goes into round 5 and there's 10 seconds left, they are going to just stand in the center of the cage.
They might do it with 20 seconds left. Like
the beginning of the round. I think a lot of people are betting on that, which is what worries me a little bit as far as the fight to go, fight doesn't go. It's become the hot thing. Nothing's better than the fighter that's running away while pointing to the center of the cage. Always cracks me up.
It's the best.
Or points to the center of the cage and then does a takedown. That's one of my favorites too, lately. So it's the ultimate move. I can't wait.
You
till
should
next
get a
year's
point
UFC
taken
game.
away from you if you do this and then shoot for a takedown. Absolutely.
That's right. Dustin is retiring on his own terms.
That's a great point.
So that, look, again, there's only been 2. It's been Chris Lytle. It's been Robbie Lawler in a fixed fight. I will say it's a fixed fight. I've never seen somebody be knocked out and then stand up smile so quick as Nico Price did that night. And they had the video package queued up. I mean, like, what more do we have to do here, right?
Well, and we stick to this retirement theory. We took Eduardo Morta, Morta, if you play it over and over and over and over and over again as a long term, we're just playing this every time. You're up huge on this one.
Huge. But he is retiring on his own terms. This is going to be my last fight. I don't want to make the cut anymore. I don't want to fight anymore.
I got my hot sauce.
That's right. He's got a lot of things going on. He's got multiple nonprofit organizations, a lot going on. Coaching young fighters, investing in Louisiana. He's got a lot going on. But if there's one guy out there that is going to call his shot and be live, I think it's DP. I do. I do think it's DP. And he deserves it. I'm glad we're not seeing him, KO'd 3 times in a row, badly. Like, he's been competitive in these fights. He's been good. However, I agree that getting knocked out by Topuria is not a bad look for Max. And Max is younger. He's taller. He's faster.
Round three, by the way, too. Like, he made it through rounds 1 and 2. So,
So, these guys are going to throw. Enjoy it. Watch it. That time prop scares the hell out of me because if it goes round 5, they are just going to try to kill each other because they respect each other enough to do that. That's the thing is neither guy is not going to show the other fighter the respect to stand and trade.
yes.
They will stand and trade.
Even if one of them's up 4-0.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. It could be 2 10-8 rounds in there. Does not matter. So I'm watching it. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to pick Holloway for the sake of the video because I'm going to stick to the retirement theory. But this is one that I would say proceed with extreme caution.
Yeah, you don't have to bet every fight.
You don't.
This is a main event where I promise you, betting money on it will not make it more exciting. It's going to be perfectly fine. It's going to be perfectly exciting. It's going to be one of the best fights this year, maybe ever. It's setting up for a classic, and I don't want money on it. So I'll be happy for whoever wins. But really, it's more of a celebration of Dustin Poirier's career and kind of just saying thank you to him for everything he's done for us fans. So,
And
all
it's
right,
a
guys,
5-round fight. We have plenty of time.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's
a
true.
5-round fight. Relax.
Yeah.
See something in game, bet it then.
Hit the like button, guys. It really helps us out. And also leave us a comment. Tell us who you like on this card. Tell us if you like Holloway or Poirier. But let's get to the Parlay Buster and the woulda, coulda, shoulda. We did terrible last week on these. That was awful. As good as we were on our official picks that we bet real money on. Parlay. Well, how many Parlay Busters were there last week? There was like hardly any.
Yeah, it was a shot in the dark.
Well, we did get screwed because we had Stephen Thompson and
that's
Bonefim
true.
as a parlay bust. So that one wasn't that bad. But, yeah, our woulda, coulda, shouldas were don't ever do that again. All right, so let's start with the Parlay Buster. This is a play that we think everybody is going to have in their parlays. We're here to tell you, proceed with caution. We think it can lose. Do you have one off the top of your head?
1,000%.
Oh.
This is the most obvious one on the card.
Okay.
Dustin Poirier.
Oh, I get. Oh, this is sneaky. Okay.
You know me, sneaky.
Yeah.
Every person and their mother out there is going to bet on Dustin. How's he going to lose in Louisiana? Oh, he's got the home crowd. He's got this, he's got that. It's the last fight of the night. Every parlay is going to be tied to Dustin. It's Dustin Poirier.
This is a great pick by you. Very cerebral.
Think about what the smart thing is to do and to do the opposite, and that's your parlay buster. There you go. Lock every fight in with the main event.
Let's see. Tying Dulatov to a bunch of your parlays. I know you think he nukes him, so I won't go there. Tying Gautier. I'm going to go with Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. You and I went head-to-head, so let's have some fun on that one. Okay. And part of the reason is not only do I think everyone's playing Dan Ige, I know everyone's playing Dan Ige. The line is just like going through the roof, so that checks that box. Yeah, I think Pitbull is going to make this really close. Yair Rodriguez is no joke, and Patricio could not deal with that length. He is not going to have to worry about that length with Dan Ige. So I'll go with Pitbull pulling the upset as the parlay buster. All right, woulda, coulda, shoulda. What is the bet, and we're going to look at the end of the night and go, gosh dang it, we should have paid off the mortgage on that one.
Can you go first? I'm just checking the odds on mine real quick. I don't want to give out
Sure.
crappy one.
All right, so this is a play where at the end of the day we're just going, how did we miss this one? It's one that we really haven't totally talked about. I think we're going to be going, how do we not bet the over in a Marvin Vetorri fight? This guy just doesn't. This guy just goes the distance, man. Like look at decision. Even decision in grappling. They couldn't even get a finish in a Vetorri fight in grappling. Decision. He gets a rear naked against Carl Robertson. Before that, decision. We didn't talk about that on that one. I know you brought up the submission. I agree. Brendan Allen can gas. Brendan Allen can get tired in later rounds. I think Marvin Vetorri just does his usual thing where, granite chin, he's not getting knocked out. Vettori's not submitting Brendan Allen. So I think Vetorri and Brendan Allen goes the distance is the woulda, coulda, shoulda. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Daniel Zellhuber, and to get specific, I'm going to go him by finish.
Okay.
Not playing a fighter with length, height, reach, speed, chin in his prime against the old Michael Johnson, who's been very, very lucky as of late. Not playing him at minus 115 by finish when he sparks Johnson early.
Yeah.
He just gets clipped and falls down. I will be very, very upset. So I will fade the chin of Michael Johnson, the age, and take the younger fighter by finish. Zellhuber.
That's only minus 115, brother.
Yeah, it's a good number. Yeah.
Zellhuber by finish? Yeah, that's a really, really good number.
Yeah, I didn't want to give out no minus 280 or anything like that.
Yeah, I like the female fight. Start round one,
Yeah.
minus 1,000. Hit the like button.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Should be a great one. We're going to be live on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. Doing our live bets like normal, and hopefully we get some really, really good ones. So we had a great week for live bets last week. Boy, if we would have cashed that Stephen Thompson, it would have been one of the better ones of the year. So, but yeah, live bets, a lot of fun. Do we have a taste test yet?
I haven't decided yet, but we will have more taste tests. Taste test went great, by the way. The winner was the
hot Funyuns. The hot Funyuns. So yeah, I taste tested 4 of the really popular spicy snacks, and the Funyuns, the big winner. The spicy pork rinds were the big. Oh, by the way, I was I had my headphones on earlier, and I was like, what is that sound? And I look, and my dog Guinness, you all know my 15-year-old dog is trying to wrestle the bag of pork rinds out of the trash can right next to me.
So he did like them.
He's having, yeah. It was a split. Yeah, it was a split decision because I intercepted him. But yes, the pork rinds ended up in the trash can.
And Strawberry Sunny D was the winner. Strawberry Sunny D drink was our winner.
That's right. You did the
5-star. 5-star.
Yeah. As soon as you broke out strawberry, orange, Sunny D, seltzer, alcoholic drink, I was like, that's the winner. So we'll come up with one. If you got any comments or you got any suggestions, leave it in the comments section. We'd love to hear it. So thanks, guys, for watching. Good luck on your plays, and don't forget to look up for that PFL video. Happy Dakota Ditch of a week. We'll see everyone later. Take care.
Sayonara.